Hello, welcome back. Yeah, the Bob Marley train has left the station, which is of course quite something. We have the first 45 RPM UHQRs now at our homes, at least those of you who ordered them at the right time. And yeah, that means that a huge thing has started. I mean, we will see so many UHQRs from Bob Marley. We will see 2 regular 45 RPMs. We will see them as SACDs, and we will get them on tapes. So this is really quite something. And the first 2 we got now is Exodus and Rastaman Vibration. So really quite something that we get 2 of them in one batch, which for collectors is of course quite something. And you know, the most important thing in a way, before I get into my comparisons, my opinions about it, most important thing, due to my brick and mortar record store, the Cafe Audiophile, I do together with Snake Oil. I was able to meet yesterday with some people who already has it and compared it and listened to it, and yeah, it was so cool to see how happy at least those guys and girls were who already listened to it. And this is of course very encouraging when they say that they are breathless. They said it was a breathtaking experience listening to them on their home equipment, and they also said that they never ever expected it to be that good. But yeah, I can imagine that a lot of you has made this experience when they listen to their copies. And what we will do in this video is we will go into the content of those UHQR box sets. I will talk about my personal impression and opinion of those 45 RPM releases. I will also talk a little bit about those 2 guys. I can imagine a lot of you remember those are the 33 and the 3rd releases that came out I think a little bit more than a year ago, and they were sold out within probably minutes, but not way longer than 2 hours, I think. And so now finally they are out here as 45 RPMs. And the best thing of it is for us Europeans here, we get them to Europe too, because those hasn't been able to sell here in Europe. Yeah, maybe just let's start with Exodus. I compared it to the 33 and the 3 version of the UHQR, and I compared it to this first pressing. And you know, first pressing of course is always a very interesting and good benchmark when it comes to a comparison. And in this case it was frightening how much better the 45 RPM UHQR of Exodus is. It simply smoked it. It is a totally different experience, you know, and that goes for both of those releases. First of all, we have this extremely dry, fast and precise bass, which of course is, when it comes to reggae, especially when it comes to reggae, very important. And this is so impressive and helps it so much, in my opinion. And also what's very beautiful and surprising, because the original or this first pressing of Exodus wasn't such an amazing sounding record, to be honest. But here on that UHQR, you have such a sublime and beautiful separation of the instruments, and you hear instruments on the left side of Bob Marley, a little bit behind him on the right side, and they are so beautifully put into the room, but never losing the whole idea of what a reggae record should sound. So that's a true beautiful experience. And also the content of the box, what luckily he did, I don't know if you can see it, we have this embossed title, Exodus. We have a beautiful gatefold jacket, and he really matches the color, and also the first pressing has this embossed printing. So they really looked for all the details. Also that this head here is embossed too. This is embossed. So same with the original, with the first pressing. But those are, of course, the details we want to have, we want to get. And then you have this matte finish, and those are a little bit more glossy. So a perfect recreation of the original jacket. That's also, in my opinion, very important thing. And you know, those records, those UHQRs, they don't come cheap. So of course we have a right for it, but hey, we also get it. So that's important. Of course, we get our typical certificate where we have the specifics and the diplomas and the people that are involved, and we see that this one is strictly limited to 5,000 copies. The records are numbered. Here you can see the number. Same goes for the Rastaman vibration too. And of course, always love it, we get a little brochure with a nice essay, some information, some photos, which is of course also always something very welcome. This is not embossed, but hey, that would be too much. So, and then something beautiful in general. First, the records got shipped outside the sleeves, which of course is something amazing because it avoids those terrible and nasty seam splits. And we got that with the 33 1/3 too, but I really embrace that, I really love that. We got it with the wonderful Tough Gong labels. Here you can see the Clarity vinyl, you can see the Tough Gong label, wonderful. This is so beautiful, this looks so like summer. So that's the impression of the Exodus Bob Marley 45 RPM, and here is the second record, so that you can see it's really a 45, it's really there, and it's truly amazing. Yeah, the next one is the Rastaman Vibration. Same box set, same design, different record. Yeah, Rastaman Vibration. I already compared the 33 1/3 UHQR to the original, and the 33 1/3 also won against it. So I didn't compare it to the 45 RPM. I just compared those two, and I get into that in a minute. Just want to talk about the jacket, because the jacket is a masterpiece. You know, the original, I think in Jamaica, that came in a jute. In Germany we call it jute. I don't know the English term, which is you know what I'm talking about probably. You can see it here, and this jacket recreates the touch and the feeling of it. But that's not all. Like with the original, the title, which is embossed here, and Bob Marley, and here that is separately glued on the jacket, which is so beautiful. The Exodus cover, or the Exodus jacket, is amazing, but this is even one step beyond that. This is a killer jacket. It's in the league with the Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, with the Birth of the Blue. This is top-notch quality, and I'm so happy to have it in this quality. And I really hope, I don't know, but I really do hope that Chet goes on with that, because, for example, when it comes to the Catch a Fire, you know, you have this Zippo light now where you can open the jacket from the top and open it like a Zippo lighter, which is of course amazing. But this, when I see this jacket, I can imagine that Chet will also go for Catch a Fire with this fantastic jacket. Yeah, of course, and again, we get a little brochure. Show it to you here. See, I hope I don't see it, but here you go. And again, I don't get them out so that you just get it again, and again with the Tough Gong label. Yeah, in that case, I only compared it with the other UHQR, with the 33 1/3. Also did that with Exodus, and so I can do it in one run, because the differences are the same. Again, the Rastaman Vibration, which is, by the way, when it comes to those two, nowadays my favorite album. I totally dig Rastaman Vibration. I think this is an unbelievable record of Bob Marley, and I've learned that I'm not alone with that, although Exodus is the more popular title. I personally, musically, prefer the Rastaman Vibration a little bit above the Exodus. Of course, those are two, I mean, Bob Marley is a giant, so don't get me wrong. Those are two amazing albums, no doubt about that. But Rastaman Vibration, wow, that has a flow. And when it comes to the 45 RPM against the 33 1/3 RPM UHQR, you have the usual benefits. When you listen to this 33 1/3, you'd say, no, what? How could it be better? No, not possible. But then you listen to it, and then it adds to every aspect of the record. Yet again, you have a little bit more dynamic, you have a little bit more of everything. The music gets even more body and more presence. It's so interesting to see how much that larger amount of information, how big the impact of this larger amount of information is. That's really astonishing, really astonishing. And I also had some discussions yesterday in the store at what kind of equipment level does it make sense to get such an UHQR. And all the people agreed with me that you hear the difference on almost every equipment. So I've never heard of somebody who has a Crossley and has an UHQR. I cannot say if you hear it there, but the record will sound, I'm totally sure it will sound better, or your system will sound better with such a source than with a you will hear it, to put it easily. You will hear the difference no matter what kind of equipment you have. Of course, the better your equipment, the more you hear it. That's, I think, is also safe to say. yeah, I hope I didn't forget important things. You know, when I do, I realize it, of course, when it's too late. But I think that's it for me now with the Bob Marley Exodus, and what an amazing start. Or if you consider that last year there has been two, how beautiful ongoing it is with the Bob Marley releases, and now that those are here, I really hope that the next releases come soon. Can't wait for them. They are killing me. It's wonderful, and of course now that I get to talk to some of you in person about it and see that you have the same love for them than me, this is really encouraging. So, thank you very much for your time and hope to see you on the next one.